In Saudi Arabia, authorities are apparently cracking down on women who dare to test the religious ban on their driving. Local reports say 5 women were arrested for driving by the kingdom's religious police. Women's rights activists launched a Right to Drive campaign nearly 2 weeks ago. Errol Barnett joins me now from CNN Abu Dhabi with more. Errol.
Fanula, since this campaign has been launched, arrests were expected, but people did not expect it to happen in such dramatic fashion. Let me explain what I mean. I just spoke with Iman Al-Nafjan, who's in Riyadh, a short time ago, and she has talked with people who witnessed what happened. There were 2 arrests on Tuesday. The first arrest, 4 women, young women in their early 20s, driving, were arrested by what's known as the religious police, a conservative group staunchly against women driving. But later in the day, another woman was arrested while driving her brother through Jeddah in Saudi Arabia by the, for lack of a better term, typical, regular police. Apparently they were tipped off by a bystander who said that woman is driving a car. 4 squad vehicles surrounded her. You can think of how scary that is. And then she was then detained. We've reached out to the government. There's been no, they've not returned our calls. But what Iman is telling me is that that was quite dramatic and that typically people will get detained for driving, women for driving, and then be released the following day. But what you have to understand about Saudi Arabia is that women, all women, live under what's called a male guardianship system. So they have to get their approval to go to work, to go to school, of course, to marry. And there's no specific law banning women from driving, but it's called a fatwa, a religious edict issued by a senior cleric. This is viewed internationally, though, as a discriminatory policy. And if you look at gender equality in Saudi Arabia, they only rank 129 out of 134. So these women with the Saudi for Women Driving campaign are looking for a bit more equality.
Errol, some would say that these women have been empowered in some ways by the revolutions in the Arab world. Let me ask you, how is the international community reacting to this?
Well, it's certainly true. You have a young generation of people here in the region who feel more empowered with a collective voice. Now, Saudi Arabia, let's not forget, is the #1 exporter of oil globally. Nobody wants to rock the barrel, so to speak. But U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who's made women's rights a cornerstone of her work, has gone from using what was described as quiet diplomacy to last week, after being pressured by Saudi women for driving, for the first time speaking out in support of their campaign. Listen to this.
What these women are doing is brave, and what they are seeking is right. This is not about the United States. It's not about what any of us on the outside say. It is about the women themselves and their right to raise their concerns with their own government.
So, Fanula, it's a combination of things. Secretary Clinton voicing her support, the Arab uprisings in the region, all helping what these women say help them become more equal. 70 women, Iman tells me, across the country have defied the ban so far, and she says they will continue to do so.